In this video, we're going to discuss paraphrasing. So first thing we're going to do is look at 3 steps on how to paraphrase. The reason we're talking about paraphrasing is because in English, most of your papers should be paraphrased. So it's okay to include a few quotes when the author says something that you couldn't say better if you put it in your own words, or if you're using statistics and you want to use the author's exact statistics. But for the most part, in English class, it's better to paraphrase. The reason it's better to paraphrase is because you can incorporate more of your ideas into paraphrasing. Also, paraphrasing shows that you understand the text better, because when you use your own words to explain something, it's a higher level skill and it requires more thinking. So if we take a look at steps to paraphrasing, there are 3 main steps. And this first one seems obvious, but first thing you need to do is read the entire article until you understand it well. Because in order to put something in your own words, you have to understand what it's saying. So this includes those skills like rereading a section if you don't understand it, or looking up words you don't understand. After you've done that, you're going to find a section that supports your position or opinion. And then this third step is the definition of paraphrasing. Put the section in your own words. So what we're doing here is we could summarize, not summarizing the whole article like you would in literature class. You're summarizing just that section that you chose that supports your position. And when you're summarizing, remember, you're only including important information. A lot of times the author includes all kinds of information, but you're pulling out that information that really shows what you're trying to say. And finally, if the author uses words that you wouldn't normally use, you're going to think of synonyms to make it sound like your own words. So the more words that you can change, the better. Last thing, there's a kind of a fine line here, but you don't want to change the author's original meaning. So if the author says, for example, 94% of people use their phones, and I don't like that statistic, I can't just change to like 2% use their phones, because that's changing the author's meaning. That's kind of like lying. So that being said, let's take a look at an example here that's kind of similar to your assignment. First step, find one quote in the article that proves kids should get paid to do chores. So in class, we read an article like this, and if you forgot what it's about, feel free to pause the video and reread it. So we're on the yes side first. So right now I'm just going to find a sentence. I want to directly quote it. I'm going to find a sentence that proves that kids should get paid to do homework. And I'm going to pull this sentence out right here. I will also learn responsibility. Now, before I can use this quote, remember that I need to give credit to the article. So if I go back to my cheat sheet, this sheet should be in your interactive notebook. And remember, when I'm quoting, there's 2 sections. There's one section for paraphrasing, one section for quoting. When I'm quoting, I'm on the bottom section, and I need to include a page number. And I need to also include an author or a title. So remember the previous lesson when we talked about finding the author of a text. Remember our steps, and our first step is to look up top. So I'm looking up top. Here's my title. I don't see an author. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. Notice I do have an author at the bottom. The only problem is remember, when we use an author, we have to use the author's last name. So we only have a first name here, so we can't use the author in this case. So we're going to be using the title. So that being said, I'm going back to my sentence starter. I'm just going to use a first sentence starter. On page blank. So I need to figure out what page did this quote come on. Well, since I'm quoting on this page, it's on page 26. So I'm going to go back to my homework assignment. I'm going to type on page 26. Okay, let's go back to my sentence starter here. What else do I need? Author or title of text. We decided we're going to go with the title of text. So we're going to put, should kids get paid to do chores? Said, and then I'm going to quote what it said. So I will, and remember, when you're quoting, you need to use word for word. Also learn responsibility. And we also need to make certain that we have quotation marks around quotes. Next job is we're going to paraphrase this quote. When we paraphrase, it's a lot of times easier just to paraphrase more than just that one sentence, because basically if we paraphrase this one sentence, we'd have to change a few words. It just wouldn't work too well. So let's go back to the article and take a look at this entire paragraph, see if we can paraphrase this. So notice how we're saying that the kids are going to learn responsibility. I'm thinking of ways I can put this in my own words. I'm a pretty busy kid. I don't need that. got homework to do, piano practice, swimming. If you're really good at thinking of higher level words, when we think about these types of words, we can call these extracurricular activities. A lot of you probably have heard that before. And then we have new chores. So a lot of things going on here. So I just want to take all these words, put it in my own words. So I'm going to put something like, first of all, I do have to give credit to the text still. So I'm back up here. And this time I'm up top because I'm paraphrasing. So notice how we don't need a page number. I'm just going to use the first sentence starter here. And I'm going to put, as stated in, good kids to do chores. Kids have a lot of responsibilities outside of school, so they should be rewarded when they take on a chore. Notice how this, we didn't change the author's original meaning, but I did add a lot of my own ideas. So this is a really good way of paraphrasing. Just changing a few words here or there, that's not a great way to paraphrase. It's the more ideas and words that you can add that's your own, the better.